Okay, so example 1, it says 25 plus 3/10, or 25 and 3/10 plus 376 and 77 100ths. Isn't that fun? So let's take a look at this. 25 and 3/10 plus 376 plus 77 hundredths. Jeez. Okay, well, I have mixed numbers. I've trained you guys to how to add and subtract with mixed numbers. Since we're adding, we don't necessarily have to convert to improper fractions. If we were subtracting, we would. Does anyone see a common denominator between 3/10 and 77 100ths? Yeah. What do you see, Corsair? Okay, so you know that you can multiply 3/10 by a factor of 10, and you get 30 100ths. That'll work. Hey, before I get ahead of myself, anytime that you're adding and subtracting with fractions or decimals, it's important to use estimation, because estimation allows us to get a good idea of if we're anywhere close to the right track. So when we're estimating, we basically just ignore the fractional parts, the decimals, and we look at just the whole numbers. What is the sum of 376 plus 25? What's the sum of 376 plus 25? If I took 1 away from the 376, what would I have? Okay, so what's 375 plus 25? 400, right? Then I can add the 1 back on. So I'd have 401. So whatever my answer is, I know that it needs to be somewhat close to 401. So that's my estimation. That's what I need to refer to before I started doing all this finding equivalent denominators. So I know that if I add 25 and 376, I get 401, right? So now I have 401 plus 30 100ths plus 77 100ths. What's the sum of 30 plus 77? Okay, so how many groups of 100 100ths can I pull out of 107 100ths? With how many hundredths left over? So that would be 401 plus 1 plus 7 100ths. So what's 401 plus 1? 42. So it's 402 plus a little bit more, pretty close to 401? Yeah, it's really close. If you're dealing with hundreds and you're only 1 or 2 off with your estimation, that's pretty darn close. So remember, the goal today is figure out when it's better to add with fractions and when it's better to add with decimals. So let's look at those same numbers. Huh? I moved it too fast? Okay, I'll leave it on there. Let me hide that for you so you can see it. How could I rewrite 25 and 3/10 as a fraction or as a decimal? How could I write 25 and 3/10 as a decimal number? So you're saying I could rewrite this as 25 decimal 3? Okay. How could I rewrite the 376 and 77/100ths as right about like that? Does everyone see that whenever you say this number, 25 and 3/10, I say this number as 25 and 3/10? I could say this number is 376 and 77/100ths. I would say this number is 376 and 77/100ths. Did I have to find a common denominator? No. Can I still add these two together? Okay. Did we see how I aligned my decimals up? I see that I have 7/100ths, but I don't have any hundredths here. What can I add? So what is 7 plus 0? What is 7/10 plus 3/10? 10/10. So we're 1. So I regroup the 1 into the next place value. What is 1 plus 6 plus 5? 12 ones. So I regroup the 10. What is 10 plus 70 plus 20? Another way I could say that is, what is 1 10 plus 7 10s plus 2 10s? How many 10s? 10 10s. Regroup. 100 plus 300. Did I get the same answer? What was easier? Finding an equivalent denominator, worrying about the mixed numbers, regrouping, going over, converting from an improper fraction to a mixed number, then adding again? I'm expecting an answer for error. Which method did you guys like better? Decimals or fractions? A couple of people like fractions. Which way do you think you're less likely to make mistakes? From my experience with what I know about our expertise with fractions, we make a lot of mistakes whenever we convert and find equivalent fractions, whenever we go from improper fractions to mixed numbers and back and forth. It's very easy to make mistakes with all those conversions and multiplying and everything else. If we can think of numbers as decimals, then we're just adding. There's none of this multiplying and adding and dividing and all this other stuff. Okay? So we're going to explore how we can think of fractional numbers as decimal numbers in order to reduce the opportunity for mistakes.